Hello friends, I'm Saket Bansal, and in this video I'm trying to answer some of the frequently asked questions on PMI-PBA certificate, a professional business analyst certificate newly launched by PMI. And the first question which I get is that do I need to be a designated business analyst before I can go for this certificate? The answer is no. PMI recognizes that if you are performing a role of a business analyst, maybe having a designation of project manager or system engineer or system analyst, but if your work activities are the one which are defined as per the content outline of PMI-PBA, you can go for it. The second question which I get is that do I need to be a PMP before I can go for PMI-PBA? The answer is no. So there is no prerequisite as far as certification prerequisite is concerned. So you don't have to be any PMI certification with you. You can directly go for PMI-PBA. How much does it cost? Third question. Yeah, it will cost you same as the PMP. So if you are a member, the examination will cost you $405 US. If you are not a member, the examination will cost you $555. So I'm only talking about the examination cost. Then you need to add a cost which are associated with the training or the cost which are associated with the preparation material or reading material. So that is something which you need to add on to the examination cost. Now, the interesting question and most important question out of the rest is what are the eligibility criteria? Now, in a question number 1, partially we spoke about that if I am not designated business analyst, can I do it? I said yes. So let's look at the eligibility criteria at detail. Now there are two types of eligibility criteria. One is experience and another is business analysis education. Now when we talk about experience, as if you have a bachelor degree or a global equivalent, you need to have an experience of 3 years in business analysis. Now 4,500 hours in 3-year duration, doing activities which are associated with the business analysis. Now you may wonder what are these activities. The PMI has grouped the business analysis activities in 5 domains. They talk about the first set of activities is like need assessment, where you do high level scoping, identify top level stakeholders, prepare business case. So such kind of activities falls under that domain. If you are working on such kind of activities, you are doing business analysis. The requirement management planning. So planning related activities which you do for managing requirements, controlling scope, or decomposing the top level requirement to a small requirement will also falls under business analysis. The third one is analysis, where you get into the details of the top level requirement. And this one is like you create a system specification document, you write use cases, you prepare a business process flow, you create a data flow diagram, you create a use case diagram, you show the system and user interaction. Such kind of elaboration of the requirement or the top level needs resulting into a detailed requirement specification or resulting into a communicating of a detailed requirement to the development team falls under the analysis domain as per the PMI-PBA content outline. Then the fourth domain talks about traceability and monitoring, where you are ensuring that whatever has been identified at an initial stage gets delivered. So like managing RTM, requirement traceability metrics, ensuring that initial needs are getting mapped to the deliverables and test cases, etc., falls under monitoring section of that domain. Preparing performance reports related to the business analysis work also falls into this area. The fifth one is evaluation, where you look at the final product, you evaluate that is it meeting my need, which I have visualized at an initial stage. How well this particular product is meeting the business case, calculating the final value stream map or as per the final product. So such will fall under evaluation. So if you are involved in some or a subset of whatever activities I have spoken about, you can find a detailed list in PMI-PBA content outline. If you are involved in these activities, they can be categorized as business analysis activities. Now, what if you don't have a bachelor degree? Now, in that particular case, you need to have 5 years of experience rather than 3 years. You need to demonstrate that you have been working on business analysis kind of environment or business analysis role for 5 years. Along with the business analysis experience, PMI also requires you to demonstrate that you have been working on project for at least 2000 hours. Now these 2000 hours, you need to show that you were doing business analysis which was done in a project environment, because PMI-PBA is launched with the goal that we need to do an effective business analysis to get project successful. So it's like mapping the business analysis with the project environment. So you need to show that you have been working on projects for at least 2000 hours. Now you may think that, okay, I have been working on business analysis for 3 years, but from last 2 years I am doing project management. Can I do PMI-PBA? The answer is yes. Now when you, so how back you can go? The duration is 8 years. So you need to show your experience in last 8 years. So if you have done 3 years of business analysis or 5 years of business analysis in last 8 years, you qualify for it. The second prerequisite is contact hours, education on business analysis. So you need to have 35 contact hours on business analysis related. So I explained the business analysis content outline related education. During the pilot stage, which is this requirement is a bit relaxed, you can just demonstrate that if 25 hours of education in business analysis. This analysis or education, this education you can take from registered education provider or from anywhere, but the content outline should follow the business analysis activities which I have explained. Now, so what type of content? The fifth question is like, what type of subject or content is taught? So as I explained, the business analysis activities, this is the only content which is taught in the PMI-PBA. There is a content outline which is downloadable from again from PMI website, PMI-PBA content outline, and this content outline talks about like doing stakeholder identification, doing stakeholder analysis, doing requirement management, doing communication management, identifying and controlling risk, doing elicitation, making data flow diagrams, doing interviews, conducting brainstorming sessions. So how do you do all those things? How you can improve on those group thinking techniques? How well you can elaborate the requirement? How do you monitor the requirement using requirement traceability metrics? How do you evaluate? How do you provide product demo? So such kind of subject areas are the one which you need to prepare for. So where can I give the exam? The centers which are authorized to take exam for PMP can also take an exam for PMI-PBA. So here I want to make a point that the centers which are conducting exam for CAPM or PMI-ACP may not be able to conduct PMI-PBA exam because this one is coupled with PMP. So it's like a relatively higher standards of prometrics which are conducting 4 hours long PMP exam. They are the only one who can conduct the PMI-PBA exam. What would be the duration of exam? It's a 4 hours, 200 questions. Now, do we have a book? Can I read a book and give this exam as I did for PMP? I had a PMBOK, so I studied the PMBOK and gave the exam. So do you have similar book for PMI-PBA? The answer is, as of now, no, but ultimately there will be. So PMI will be publishing a practice guide for business analysis and practice standard for requirement management. The practice guide for business analysis is expected to come in Q4 of 2014 itself. So this year only we will get it. Requirement, the practice guide or practice standard for requirement management will come in 2015. So at a later point of time, you will definitely have a book for the PMI-PBA from PMI. But as of now you don't have it. So what PMI has done is that they have given you a list of reference material. So there are a list of books which you can refer to. So what you need to do is you need to look at the content outline and refer the reference material from those books. So as of now, that is the only solution which we have in hand. So how to start? So if you want to start for PMI-PBA, you need to take a decision. Do you want to do it during the pilot phase, which is till August, or you want to do it once the proper certification is launched? If you are doing during the pilot stage, you should keep in mind The contact hour requirement is relaxed from 35 to 25. And the result will not get declared as you give the exam. Result will come sometime in October. So you give an exam till August, but PMI will give you an email that okay, your result will come sometime in October. You will get 20% rebate on the examination fee during the pilot stage. That's the advantage you can think of. And after pilot stage is over, the regular exam will start happening. You may find some challenges in collecting or identifying a training organization which can provide you the complete set because during pilot stage everybody is experimenting. So you need to do some level of self-study in order to navigate the pilot phase of PMI-PBA. So this is what I got from my various interaction through on my LinkedIn and on my forum. So if you have any other query related to PMI-PBA, please visit our forum, forum.izenbridge.com, post them there, and we will try to answer them at shortest possible time. Thanks for watching our video on PMI-PBA FAQs. Thank you.